Ever since the Green New Deal was announced, there have been people saying that if the Democrats campaign based on this platform, this idea of integrating a response to the climate crisis with a number of other issues of public policy, that it is going to be a massive loser. Obviously on Fox News, the Republicans, they've been saying that, but there are many Democrats as well that are scared of this policy and think that it could lead to the Democrats losing control of the House once again. Well, we've got some new polling showing that that is perhaps not accurate. Specifically in battleground districts, the support for the Green New Deal is at 49%, the opposition at 35%, and that is in the sort of the middle districts, the districts that are more up for grabs, that hypothetically have a higher percentage of conservatives. We're not talking about like hard blue districts here. Right. Jose, you're running in a district that is not overwhelmingly Democratic. What do you think about campaigning based on the Green New Deal?
Well, I've been doing it since the beginning, and that type of pressure has been very effective. And these polling numbers only confirm what we all thought, that climate, healthcare, education, these are real kitchen table issues that people are now starting to talk about. The fact that I thought was really great about that poll is that only 4% didn't know. Which really shows that the message has gotten out to the voters as a whole, and people actually have an opinion. So when you talk about what's going on with the climate, the fires, the ice melting, the Amazon rainforest, the African fires, people are really starting to get scared. They want people who are going to be bold on policy, because I think people are tired of this media narrative that says, oh, this is too expensive, this isn't going to work. Well, what else have we got to do left? And I think people are really starting to reach that critical mass that says, if we don't deal with our climate, we're all dead. And I think that narrative has really gotten into the general public, and they want politicians that are going to stand up and say, I'm not only going to fight for the Green New Deal, I'm also going to create policies for that framework.
We should also acknowledge that today, in a number of different cities around the world, the second iteration of the climate strike from last Friday as well.
That's right.
That's going on right now. So a lot of people, thanks to the leadership of a number of different, primarily youth climate-based activist organizations, are talking about it. In terms of the talk about the Green New Deal, there's a little bit more from that poll that I want to show people. So what has the respondent heard about the Green New Deal? Positive, negative, and how much of each? And here is the biggest challenge, I think. Remember, it's still polling much more positive than negative in battleground districts, despite the fact that people have heard a lot, according to them, more negative information about the Green New Deal. Far, far more negative than positive, probably because Fox News has talked more about the Green New Deal this year than CNN and MSNBC combined, I think, likely. So right. I guess the onus is really on us to get the information out there. What are some of the points that you try to stress when you're talking about the Green New Deal?
Well, the points that I try to stress is the fact that we bring it back to what's actually happening right now on the ground, right? You have the fires, and like I said, the ice caps are melting. We also need to stress the fact that if we do not actually use our resources to prevent the climate crisis that is happening right now, or at least mitigate it to some degree, we are going to be paying so much more money in coastal cities going underwater. Here in San Diego, like if we go up several feet, like we're going to lose a lot of beaches, beachfront property, and people are starting to see that. Another talking point that we have here in San Diego and California as a whole is the fact that the fires are becoming such a huge problem that insurance companies are no longer covering for fire protection. And if they do, they're charging 5 times what the normal rate is. So even if you're an affluent person who owns a home in, let's say, an area that's prone to fire, then you may be hurt and lose everything because your insurance company isn't going to cover you in housing insurance anymore. So there's a lot of issues and points on cost of what the climate crisis is costing America that is really ringing true to a lot of our voters.
Well, yeah, 100%. Jose Caballero, a congressional candidate in California's 53rd district. Thank you as always for joining us.
Thank you so much for your time.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.